is Dave from DDC Studios, and today I want to talk to mainly newer creators first starting out. I've got some important advice for you, but also this advice um, can also really pertain to established creators as well, and it has to do with audience satisfaction. I've seen it referred to in a lot of YouTube videos and social media platforms as customer satisfaction. Um, and that's fairly accurate, but I found saying audience satisfaction to be the most accurate, um, because it also totally removes that argument of, hey, the reader isn't the final customer, the actual customer that I'm catering to is the comic shop. Okay, yeah, that's fine. But let's worry about audience satisfaction. And that pertains to the people that actually read your comics. Um, it's very simple. At least it is to me. Maybe it's because was born and raised in Iowa. And, it's almost like our state motto, but it's just be polite, period. Um, you know, uh, some of the advice that I've given to a few young guys I've talked to in like direct DMs on Twitter and Instagram is basically pretend you're Canadian. Just be polite. Simply say thank you when someone says, "Hey, I read your book. I loved it." Um, and also on the same note, if somebody says, "Hey, I read your book and I hated it," still be polite. Say, "Hey, well, thanks for at least picking it up. Um, I hope you check back later. Hopefully we can do better. Yada, yada, yada. It's not that hard to even be polite to someone who says, hey, your stuff sucks. Or, at the very least, hey, I don't like the comic that you made. You can still thank them for picking them up. I mean, they still spent money on you. In my opinion, that still really necessitates a sincere thank you. And for those that have ever watched the immortal Patrick Swayze movie Roadhouse, um, to kind of paraphrase him, when someone thanks you for making the comic or saying that your comic is awesome, be nice. When someone says they hate your comic, be nice. When someone says something that you maybe don't agree with, be nice. Just simply be nice until it's time to not be nice. And by that I mean, if someone is personally attacking you for no reason whatsoever, I'm sorry, but you maybe have a little bit of a right to be snippy. Um, and if you feel it necessary, block the individual. Now, block lists I am totally against because they make absolutely no sense. But blocking an individual that's doing nothing but trolling you constantly for no reason whatsoever, yeah. Now, me myself, I don't block that many people. Mostly, I will mute them. To me, that's actually a more polite way and also kind of a funnier way. Um, because instead of blocking this person, that's kind of giving them a gigantic middle finger. You just simply mute them. You're no longer listening to what they have to say and just letting them scream into the void. You know, and to me, that's kind of a win-win situation. They still get to keep acting like an ass, and you no longer have to deal with it. So there you go. Um, but the whole block list thing, which thankfully really isn't a huge deal anymore. I think that's mainly because everybody who wants to use them has already used one. Um, but those just make absolutely no sense to me. It's total playground BS, basically, because, I don't like you because you're hanging out with a person that I don't like. Really? And they're not even hanging out. I mean, they're just simply following them on Twitter or Instagram or whatever. Um, because here's something that may blow a few people's minds with this next statement. Um, I hope it doesn't, but, unfortunately, I think it will. But Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, social media in general, it's not real life at all. It doesn't even closely resemble anything like real life. It is a mob of wackadoodles, myself included, trying to shout and get their voice heard above the din of the other wackadoodles on the platform. And sometimes, in order to do that, they will resort to ridiculous means or making a ridiculous statement, myself included. I'm also guilty of that on occasion. Um, and that's really where a lot of this stems from. All of this animosity is the that rush that people get from, oh hey, I just reached 1,000 followers. Oh hey, I just reached 10,000 followers. Oh hey, I hit 100 likes on this tweet. Um, they're constantly trying to chase that high, basically, but it really doesn't do anything for you, really. Um, Instead, you really should look at trying to make social media work for you instead of you working for the social media platform, by constantly um, increasing the outrage quotient, as I like to call it. Instead, you use it to hype up any of your projects or products that you have for sale. Um, Use it to make connections with some like-minded individuals, whether they be, fellow comic book creators, fellow writers, fellow artists, um, whatever. And once again, just use that platform to your advantage. Because honestly, in the big scheme of things, it does not matter how many followers you have on Twitter or on Instagram. It does not matter how many likes you got on a certain post that you put up Monday afternoon. I mean, really, it doesn't. Nobody's going to care in the long run that happened. But instead, try to kind of rise above all of the rhetoric and just the animosity that runs rampant in there, and just show off your stuff. Um, because you never know, you might get one or two more just absolute diehard rabid fans of your work, that customers that are going to buy your stuff the second you release it, which is an awesome feeling. But also, it goes right back to it. Be nice. Straight up. It doesn't matter what the person's political affiliation is. It does not matter who they voted for. It does not matter who they are attracted to. It does not matter what they look like. If they make a nice comment about your comic or whatever you've made, saying that they really like it, just give them a thank you. It doesn't matter whether they belong to Comicsgate or they're anti-Comicsgate or they're an SJW or whatever. It doesn't matter. If they bought your book and they liked your book, throw them a thank you. It's not that hard. So that pretty much should wrap it up. We're going on over 10 minutes now. So you've, I think, probably had your fill of hearing me ramble over this topic. But I'm going to say it just one last time. For the love of God, people, treat your audience nicely. Treat them politely. Thank them for buying your books, whether they liked it or they hated it. Thank them for making that purchase, because bottom line is, that's all that really matters, is they spent money on a product that you made, whether they liked it or they hated it. So they, in their, no matter what, it's undeniable, they help to support you making more comics. So with that said, um, I'm going to go ahead and we'll get the heck out of this video. Thanks again for listening. Make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe button. Feel free to share this video on all of your various social media platforms, and don't forget to ring that bell for notifications. We'll be hitting you with another video here in just a couple more days. Thanks a lot. Bye.